Wednesday, and every Thursday and Friday, there's dollar beers, hot dogs, and sodas. We'll also have fantastic free concerts every Friday night. Yes, Hollywood Park is fantastic.
Now, this is the Fox 11 10 o'clock news.
Good evening, I'm Susan Hirosuna.
I'm Jeff Michaels. Southern California gets another jolt. Pretty strong quake shook us a little after 8:30 tonight.
As you can see from Cube, our exclusive link to Caltech, the quake was initially called a 5.0 at 8:39 and was centered a mile east of Lenox. But since it's been revised down to a 4.7 so far, there's been no reports of any injuries or significant damage. Jane Yamamoto is live at Caltech with more. Jane.
Well, Jeff and Susan, this quake felt throughout the Southland. Joining me now, Susan Huff. She is here from Caltech GS. And why don't we first show me on the map here and talk about how big this quake was?
Well, we've settled on a magnitude 4.7. The initial magnitude was a little bit higher. Typically, they bounce around a little bit before we look at all the data. So 4.7 is a good-sized jolt. It was essentially in Englewood, the Hawthorne area. So it was right in the LA basin.
And do we know if this is connected to any other fault lines?
It is consistent with being on the Newport-Inglewood fault, which produced the 1933 Long Beach earthquake, which is one of the more serious earthquakes that we've had in LA history. We're not sure yet. It takes a while to really look at the data and figure out exactly which fault moved.
And we haven't had a pretty big jolt like this since about last year. What was it, Chino Hills?
July 29th, we had a 5.4, so that was a bigger earthquake. It was removed from the central LA area, so this one would have been felt more strongly by people in the central LA region.
And you're saying this is the biggest in the central LA region since when?
Oh gosh, you have to go back, well, Northridge in '94 obviously was a much bigger earthquake.
Okay, and let's talk about the aftershocks. So far, how many, and are we looking for more aftershocks?
So far, I've only seen two, a 2.5 and then a 3.1. That's a fairly low number of aftershocks, and some earthquakes just don't produce a whole lot of aftershocks. So that suggests that the sequence may not be all that energetic.
So are we looking at heavier in terms of bigger, more aftershocks, or we don't know at this point? Is it still early?
It looks like the sequence isn't going to be all that energetic compared to what it might have been. There is this small chance that this could turn out to be a foreshock and something bigger could happen, but we're talking about a 4 or 5% chance.
And did you feel it tonight?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We were in downtown. Didn't feel it that much, but for the most part, yeah, we didn't feel it. We were in downtown.
Okay, I'm surprised. I actually thought it was bigger in South Pasadena.
And it's being felt throughout the Southland. Sue Huff from the USGS, thanks so much for joining us. And once again, 4.7 earthquake in Inglewood. Reporting live, I'm Jane Yamamoto. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Jane, thank you very much. Well, it was felt over a wide area. Christy Fajardo was live at LAX where everyone felt it there. Christy?
Oh, they certainly did, Susan. In fact, one woman just passed by, and she told us when it started, everyone was just kind of holding on, wondering when it would stop. Now, we're told that one man was stuck in an elevator. They got him out. He's okay, but take a look. Other than that, everything is running pretty smoothly here at LAX, but as you said, everyone felt it. Some thought initially that it was a big jet landing, quickly learned it wasn't. Here's what some of them had to say.
It was a pretty big earthquake. I mean, it felt like it lasted for at least more than 40, 50 seconds, and it sort of like stopped for maybe 3 or 4, and then it started again. So it was kind of rolling and bouncing us around the house. So it hit us pretty hard, and yeah, it's kind of traumatic.
What did you feel?
I was in the lounge sitting next to the glass and watched all the people, get up, look a little bit frightened, decide what to do, and then by which time it was all over.
Yeah, did it scare you at all, or?
Well, it gave me a bit of a fright, yeah.
Had you experienced many earthquakes?
I'm from Wellington, New Zealand, which has them quite a bit, but I must say it always gives you a bit of a fright. I was thinking was it a big plane landing or something? It was such a jolt, but, there's a lot of nervous people ringing their family. I'm fine, I'm fine.
Now, he had a sense of humor about it, and so did some other people we spoke to who tell us it was no big deal. Now, we were actually in Beverly Hills covering a story there, a fundraiser there when the earthquake hit. For us, it felt like a big truck going by. That's the latest from LAX. I'm Christy Fajardo. Let's send it back to you.
And I was at that same event in Beverly Hills, and my son felt it and mentioned it to me. I said, oh, no, there's no earthquake, because I hadn't felt it. So it was interesting. It depends on where you are and what you're doing, I think, whether or not you feel the earthquake.
Exactly. We have Inspector